Value of Education, an ode to Nikki Giovanni. Nikki taught me that education is not a building, not desks lined in rows or hands raised high. It is the freedom to ask, to defy, to say, I remember what matters, and the rest I make my own. Memory, she taught, is rebellion, a refusal to forget what love has sown. Everything I do because I want to, she said with voice like rivers cutting through stone. And from her, I learned the privilege of ignoring the gaze of others, a privilege many cannot afford but must create. She reminded me of Zora from Eatonville, Zora of the orange groves, who saw stories in the sun and future in the dirt. Like Zora, Nikki was no prophet, though her words predicted generations. Prophets die, she said with a sly grin, and Nikki always planned to live. She lived in Nikki Rosa, in the childhood memories of Blackness, not idyllic, not pristine, but alive, beating with the rhythm of survival. She knew that to be Black was to carry the weight of joy and pain on the same shoulders, to see the world and still rise. She taught me about the Pullman porters, the quiet heroes who carried more than luggage, who delivered Emmett Till's body back to his mother, the real lessons that history hides. She taught me why women gather, the unspoken language of circles, of laughter and grief braided together, of strength found in the spaces between silence. In the blood of Black women, she saw space travel, the journey from an unknown to a known, and beyond the kind of exploration NASA could never chart. She said if they want to understand the stars, they should talk to us, because Black women have always been the architects of survival. Nikki knew education was a mother's hymn, a story passed from hand to hand, a lesson in the smallest gestures, the way a woman carries herself, even when the world would break her down. She knew we are all searching for our mothers, for the women who withstood storms. She smiled as the band played on, but she also knew we cannot play our mothers. We cannot be our mothers. We can only learn from their strength, carry in our pockets like a talisman for the journeys ahead. Love, she said, is the only true adventure. And in those words, I saw a map to the places I had never dared explore. She taught me not to grieve for too long, for grief she believed was a weight we could choose to set down. Instead, she chose joy, a radical act in a world that thrives on sorrow. She showed me that talent can be lonely, but is also a gift, a beacon for others to follow. Through her, I saw that education is not a destination, but a road that we walk together. Stories layered like sediment beneath our feet. And so we carry her lessons forward, from Philander Smith to Mars, from Orange County to galaxies unknown. Her words remind us, education is the act of remembering, of telling the truth even when it hurts, of dreaming beyond the constraints of time. Nikki Giovanni is no prophet. She is something greater, an earthling, a nurturer, a seed grower. Her influence will never die, for she planted gardens in us all, and the best is always yet to come.